Yo, what's up, man? It's Never Enough Game episode 9.
What that shit do? What that shit do, man?
Yeah,
Y'all ready for?
it's poppin'.
Head tilt back, and you know where we at. Got the thing in my grass, and we living life fast. And I put that on the tub, motherfuckers can't hang. What you want, what you talk, what you rap for the game.
You ready for this shit?
How was your week, Seti?
Man, I actually had a pretty interesting ass week. I mean, you know what? It kind of started off a little bad, but no, it got kind of fucked up. But then towards the end, nigga, that shit was a good ass week. That shit was cool. What about you? What was
Man,
y'all?
I had a fucking wild ass. I went to like a little fucking rodeo. What do they call it? Fucking
Jaripeo.
jaripeo. Yeah, I went to a fucking
Rodeo
jaripeo.
though. Rodeo.
Yeah, it's like a rodeo jaripeo. That's how you say in Spanish and shit. I thought it was cool. It was cool. Everybody was just dancing and shit, fool. But man, get the fucking watch out, dog. That shit right there, dog. Motherfuckers get drunk. They started wilding the fuck out. Security started beating them motherfuckers' ass, dog. I swear. Walking out with one of my boys. Man. Bro. All you see is a motherfucking... Bro, this is because my boy, he be getting a little too ripped. He be getting a little too ripped and fucking at the end of the whole shit, dog. God damn, dog. My boy don't know how to turn down a fucking fight, dog. That fool just ended up fucking... He ended up taking off. But I'm like, oh shit, my boy, not again. My boy's a fucking CYA baby, man. We'll be fucking getting it in. I'm like, dog. All you like in 3 seconds, all you see is motherfuckers just come through and just trying to fucking take off on your boy, man. But I was just like, man. Yeah, it was a wild ass night, bro. I got hungover as a motherfucker, bro. But I just been on that business shit. Trying to fucking
Oh, really?
yeah.
You was on that business shit that night, huh?
No,
Hey, you
fool,
wasn't
no.
on no business shit that night.
The next day I felt like shit. I'm like, fuck, dog, that fucking hangover.
That shit was fun, dog.
That
That's
shit-
what you were saying. That shit was fun as shit. Nah, I'm just playing, dog. But no, it was fun as shit,
I mean,
dog.
that shit was dope, dog. That shit was cool.
It was cracking. What's up, Silent? How was your weekend, dog? Ooh, I like your hat, dog. I like that shit. That shit looks dope.
Hell yeah! Shout out to Upstate Connecta on IG. That motherfucker been
With
sending
the
me some
activities,
shit
with the activities,
with
my
all
boy.
activities.
Yeah.
Upstate fella,
Okay.
I like
you
it.
feel me? That's the homies thing. He just been doing and shit. And you feel me? You want to fuck with him and go purchase your issue? Hit him up.
But how's your
I'll
weekend?
fuck with this hat big time for sure. Appreciate you, my boy.
Yay! How was your weekend, though? For real.
I'm gonna see you at the Big 30 show.
How was your week,
Oh,
man?
what
My
the week-
weekend? It is
yeah.
the weekend.
Damn, that's how you know.
So how
yeah.
was my week? My
How's your
week was
week,
alright.
dog?
Yeah, it was cool. You know, I had to switch up my schedule for some personal things because my girl went to Mexico and stuff. So I got this son.
Why'd you go to Mexico?
Just for a family loss.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I got to take my kid.
You had to be on point out there, my boy.
Was it a
Shit.
big family
Yeah.
loss?
Yeah.
Like, what was it?
I mean, I don't really want to
Yeah,
put that out there like that,
that's a little
dog.
too detailed, but
You know what
be
I'm
on
saying?
point out there, my boy.
Well, what do you feel about losses then?
What I feel about losses?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we all lost about the same amount of people, and we know that it's something tragic.
No, but everybody perceives it differently. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you perceive a loss? And then, what do you make of it before and after? Because, like, one moment somebody's here, right? And then the next moment they're gone. You know what I'm saying? So, I just want to see what you think about that.
I mean, it used to hit me a lot back then, and they used to always ask why. Like the most common thing somebody has running through their head when it's somebody that they were close to. You know, you're always thinking about why, and then it gets to the point where you're just like, "Fuck, this shit real."
Or you should appreciate him a little more.
No, that too.
Like while they're here.
But it's like after Big Boy passed, I swear to God, I got numb. Like I didn't shed a tear. I just felt like it felt really cold. Really cold, and that's why I'm all like, damn, I know something happened, like, psychologically in my head for that to happen.
But, like, what I'm trying to say is, okay, Now we already know, like when somebody passes away and it's like a violent situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a tragic event.
Mm-hmm.
But when whomever chose to make that motherfucker violent knew that something was gonna happen, and it's a possibility that could be. But what I'm saying is, like, let's say for example that somebody, like a regular person in society, right, is feeling like everything's all good, and then the next day they're dead. You feel me? And what I'm trying to say with that is, like, it's pretty fucked up, nah? Like, if you look at a situation, you think you're gonna be that kind of leads you to believe that. I mean, I've always felt like this, but I feel like a lot of people can't relate to the type of situations that we've been in. You know, like the crazy situations. So they look at it like far fetched. But now let's say, for example, okay, like death, right?
Yeah.
In the situations that you've seen death or shit has played out around you, it's an extreme situation. It's not really normal.
I seen a body at 15 years old.
That's what I'm saying.
Motherfucker was hanging.
Yes, definitely.
That shit was crazy.
What the fuck? A 15-year-old not supposed to see some shit like that.
Yeah, nah, that shit terrified
That's
the
some
fuck
shit.
out of me.
That's some boys in the hood shit.
Yeah, nah, dog. I was walking home. I was kicking it with one of my boys and shit, like hella late. And then I was walking back home like at 5 a.m. And I was walking through our neighborhood, and our neighborhood has some train tracks that goes under this overpass. And I remember walking through there, and I fucking all I seen was somebody like with red, like on the little slope of the hill, like up towards the fence where the street was, because the tracks is like really down, and then there's streets up here, and it's like a slope where the dirt is at, and then there's railroad tracks, and then after that, as you keep going, everything turns flat. But I just seen somebody in red, so I was like, man, who the fuck is this? I was like, all right, it's about to go down or something. So I start going over there, and I'm like staring at him the whole time because he's not moving. It's like he just had his head down like this. And then as I got closer, this fool was fucking like really hanging. Like he was hanging from like a fucking tree.
Like from the neck or something?
Yeah, fool, like the fucking, there was a rope. He had like the whole.
Like suicide or something?
Hell yeah, he did. He was just right there. He had his tongue
That's
like,
facts of
fool, his
suicide,
tongue was
huh?
like out of his
Nah,
mouth.
fool, like somebody could
And
have done that.
where he was standing at, like you could tell that he changed his mind because he had like a whole bunch of dirt kicked down.
But
Like as if he was like trying to stand up again.
God damn.
And then all the dirt just fucking like. And he was just right there, dog. And then I was walking, and my boy that was with me, he was all like, oh shit, nigga, is this shit real? I was all like, oh man, this motherfucker better not open his eyes right now. This shit look creepy as fuck. I was hella scared. But
how do you feel about that?
That was traumatizing.
Like when somebody takes their life that way.
That's sad.
A lot of fools say that at the last minute, like in the Golden Gate Bridge, you know how fools jump off the bridge, they say at the last second they back down. They're like, fuck, but it's already too late.
Are you sympathetic towards that?
Yeah, like fools need some
I'm not
help.
really that sympathetic.
Fools need help. They need to talk to somebody, or they actually need to get like a mental, just like, bro, sometimes I think
you're not sympathetic because you're somebody that probably doesn't want to help that situation.
No, the reason why I'm not is because life is hard. You feel me? Everybody got to deal with it. I'm pretty sure you've been through some fucked up ass situations. You've been through some fucked up situations, and so have I. So it really comes down to who has the most balls to just really tough it out. Because I feel like that's the easy way. And the real, and when you do shit, that's just me, my personal opinion. I feel like that's the easy way, dog. When you do shit like that and you try to take your life, I could never put myself in that position. So I don't know. No, not saying that. Like, let's say, for example, a car accidentally hit me. Then I'd be like, all right, some situation like, but I'll never purposely put my life in danger to take myself out for a couple of reasons.
Especially
Number one,
if you have a family.
But even if you didn't, it's like, dog, it's because I believe too much in myself. That from any situation, I mean, I've been in some fucked up situations, dog. And I have been on the floor, nigga, to the bottom where you don't have no bread, where you're broke as shit.
But that's like somebody that catch life and then they'll fucking.
But the thing is, it's easy for you to say that, though. Like, you don't know what this person has gone through that led them up to this. Not everybody's gonna be.
I think I've been through more fucked up shit than the majority of a lot of people.
And that goes to my next part. Not everybody's gonna be as mentally strong as you.
And that's where I have sympathy for that.
There is
some fools go through some crazy ass shit, dog.
No, it won't even be
like
that.
Catch that L or
some people
shit.
won't even look.
I wouldn't trip. I wouldn't kill myself.
Some people won't even go through the lot.
Catch that L.
Go ahead, Silent.
Some people won't even go through a lot and then go through some stupid ass shit and take their life because they got you know, they got some psychological going on with them.
I just can't relate, bro. I can't really relate.
Mental illness is real. That's all you got to understand.
No, I know it is.
I can't relate to that because I know I don't have a mental illness. If I do, then I haven't got diagnosed by somebody who could fucking tell me I do. I do.
I need speech therapy.
I just can't relate with it. La neta.
Nah, I can't relate either.
And I can't like you put me in any other situation, that shit ain't even got nothing to do with me. Like for example, if you talk about some little girl passed away, I can't relate to a little girl passing away. I can't put myself in her shoes, but that shit hits me different. You feel me? But when you talk about somebody doing something like that, now what really gets me, what really fucks with me, is when they die off of accident, dog. You feel me? Like a motherfucker does a drug and had fentanyl in it and he didn't even know and he dies. That's not even a suicide though. That's like he just fucked up and motherfuckers look at it like a suicide.
Boy, look, on some real shit, my boy.
But if somebody really killed themselves, like suicide, like Squid Game, that new show that they just got right now on Netflix, that shit is fucking crazy, dog.
Look, mental illness is real, and if you or somebody you know is having suicidal thoughts or like wanting to hurt themselves, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-8255.
See, but
that shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody goes through shit like that, and you know, there's some families that are torn apart because of people who have killed themselves.
You know why maybe I can't relate? It's because I've always had somebody to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like maybe if I didn't have nobody to talk to, but then
that's
the reason why I got
crazy.
Can I talk because you're talking over me, bro?
I go.
The reason why I got somebody to talk to is because I'm a good person. You feel me? And I always felt some type of way when I saw old people that were alone. Because if you are alone and you're that old, not trying to be fucked up, but you must have done some fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? Because my grandpa's 97 and he has hella people around him all the time. And he's heck old.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, I feel you. But that's what I think. Because why do you not agree with that? How could somebody be old and not have no one fucking with them if they were a good person?
Oh, there's a lot of ways.
No, I'm just saying that.
They could have lost everybody around them. They could have a mental illness.
But by you being a good person, okay, mental illness is the only acceptable thing I would accept.
Yeah, but then also when you say, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm a good person, so that wouldn't happen to me. I wouldn't think of that.
In society, when motherfuckers are good, what I've noticed is
those things happen to good people.
Name somebody.
Ways,
name somebody.
Oh,
I'm asking you just to name one person that you know.
I don't know nobody.
No,
that doesn't work like that, dog.
Well, I'm saying from my life experience that as long as I've been alive.
Their names out there,
okay, let me explain to you what I'm talking about. Okay, sometimes
just because what do you have that's factual that says only bad people commit suicide?
No, I'm not saying only bad people. I said only.
Then,
no. You didn't understand what I said.
So that's what I'm.
No. I didn't say that at all. What I said is this. That's where you got me off topic, bro. We switched topics a little like 5 minutes ago. The new topic was that when I see old people, right? And I said I probably would kill myself too if I didn't have people that I could call when I feel bad.
A support system.
But I have a support system. Why? Because I'm a good person and people fuck with me, right? And I feel like if people don't fuck with you, if you ever seen an old person, right, and they're by themselves for a reason, dog. Because they must look. If you're a good person, people, even if you don't have no family members, good people are just gonna come around you, bro, and they're gonna support you because you were a good person. Matter of fact, you might have more friends and family at your funeral if you're a good person. Now, if you're not a good person, you're not gonna have no one fucking with you.
So, what if you're a good person surrounded by bad people?
They'll still fuck with you. My point is that you got a support system. It don't matter if it's good or bad. If you're bad and nigga, that's even more of a support system sometimes. Because you guys have been entrenched into some fucked up shit together to the point that it's like, bro, you've had my back, I've had your back. Like, they're loyal to the end type shit. So
loyal to the soil.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. Like, and I don't think I could relate because I would never be in that situation. Because if I feel bad, I just call you.
But why is that? Why do you see, like,
Because they must. Why don't they have nobody to talk to? If you feel bad,
Yeah,
can you
that's
call
what I'm
somebody?
saying.
This fool
But like-
calls me up
but like
fucking like
who-
I'm his counselor.
but
Like,
like
hey,
how-
my boy, you ready
but
for
like how
this?
many
I'm
people-
like,
I mean,
dog.
that's what friends are for.
How many people do you know that are like that? Or like, why?
Bro, it's just no. It's because you look at social skills, bro, and you start studying the way people are. Their people are the way they are for a reason. It's not because people stop fucking with. If someone, look, let me put a perfect example. For someone to stop fucking with you, you must have stopped fucking with them first.
Yeah, no.
It's a two-way thing.
No.
It don't happen just one way.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's because the whole thing was that, well, I see these old people and nobody's fucking with
Oh,
them.
where did I came up with the idea?
So like, so how do you know
I'm gonna tell you right now.
that nobody's fucking with
I'm
them?
gonna tell you right now.
And what is the ratio?
I'm gonna tell you right now. Okay, so check it
that
out.
to be
There-
proven.
okay, yes, definitely. Good ass question. I see a lot of people every day, bro. A lot of grown folks, bro. They're the ones that got the real money. And if you're using a demographic to try to target a business, always go 30 and up. You feel me? Because those are the ones you got to look at it. All the money is getting trickled down, and it trickles down to that age right there, 30 to like whoever the hell is still alive.
That's what I'm about to tell you. The most oldest ones
anything
have the most
under
money.
30. Don't fucking try to hit that system. Maybe kids, maybe like under 10 years old, because they'll take their mom and dad's wallets and they'll cash them out for any games or shit like that, or go on their phone and buy shit off a credit card. I know you all have some times where you let your son borrow the phone, comes back and he just buy hella games and shit. That's what I'm saying. So young, but not in the middle there. Not from like 10 to 30, fuck no. Don't advertise to people like that. But anyways, I see a lot of old folks because they're the ones that really invest money into themselves and their futures, or they know about real estate and shit like that. And sometimes I'll go to an old folks home and you can tell that person's loved, right? Because they got everything around them. And what I learned over time, if you're a good person, no matter where you're at, whether you're in a company, whether you're here, whether you got a business or anything like that, people will fuck with you. They'll gravitate towards you and they'll give you things. You feel me? Like they'll give you job opportunities. You know what? I really fuck with you. Come over here. And life will take you there just by being a good person. But if you are a dick and you try to be greedy, you try to get over on people, you're going to go down, 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 down. And then in the end, you get covered with nobody. Nobody fucks with you. Nobody. Because
You're
if
gonna
you
remember all the fucked up shit you did.
So I've been to so many houses where I see an old lady and you know what? She's rich, but you know what? She's a nice old lady. She's a nice person. She knows how to talk to you, bro. I go sometimes to houses with females and old ladies that don't have no money. You know what I'm saying? They don't got nothing. And sometimes it matches, sometimes it doesn't. But then I ask myself this. You can never really tell a person by looking at them how they weigh, because you always have that persona where you fit into society that you try to like conform into. Like, hello, how are you doing today? Or some shit like that, right? So when you're doing shit like that, you don't know if that's how the way this person really is. But you can tell by looking around what's around them. You feel me? Do they have kids? Do their kids fuck with them? If their kids don't fuck with them, that's a red flag right there. And then you're like, okay, they could be doing this for me, but why is this person in this fucked up situation? And if you're that old and you're not in a better situation by that age, it means that you were not fucking with people correctly. And if you get to a point where you're actually by yourself and you're living by yourself and you're that old, you were a dick, bro, when you were younger, because nobody wants to fuck with you.
I can't agree with that.
Name a situation that's different.
That doesn't, well, you didn't prove your point.
I did. I was going off my personal experience, what I've seen, and why I believe that happens.
Okay, yeah. You chose your belief on why you believe that is.
I've never felt.
That still doesn't make it true.
Okay, so check this out. Did you know that most of the time, check this out, this is a fact. Most of the time, things are, and this is what I stopped believing because I used to think more of. Most of the time is a proven fact that majority of the time when you see something and it looks like what it is, the first thing that you see, you should always take it for its first glance. So basically, like, let's say somebody kills somebody, right? If he kills somebody got killed, most of the time, if it's a female, it was her boyfriend. Most of the time, it was a female, it was her husband. Most of the time. That's almost all the time. That's why they instantly go to the husband. They usually, and even if he looks perfect and he looks like he's a super good guy, right? And you want to question, no, he couldn't have done it. You try to rationalize some situation, why that wouldn't happen because he's too much of a good of a guy. You overcomplicating it because you know what? That motherfucker most of the time did it.
That fool had a grudge.
You know what I'm saying? It just always happens like that. So
shit.
I used to always look at fools that were fuck ups and I used to make excuses for themselves, for them. Like maybe he went through this fucked up shit when he was little, or maybe this or that or the third. And I used to make excuses for them when they were doing these things, right? And then I just realized one day that no, they're just fuck ups, bro. Certain people are just like even like most of the time, so if your girl looks like, for example, perfect example, if somebody thinks that his girl is doing something to him, she's probably doing something to him. You feel me? If somebody thinks that somebody is stealing from them, Most of the time, because your brain wouldn't have thought that without seeing signals to make you think that type of way. So most of the time, it always is what you think it is. Most of the time. Now, for the moments that it isn't,
Yeah, I was about to tell you, nah. Sometimes there's some shit that.
Sometimes there isn't. No, but I said most.
Sometimes you be having some fucked up instincts.
No, it's a possibility that I'm wrong. But the way that I treat everybody, I can never put myself in a fucked up situation. Because if you appear to be a bad person, I'll stay away from you. So I'm not even giving the chance of that probability to happen. It's a possibility, but I believe in probabilities over possibilities because the possibilities are endless.
The odds.
Yeah, I believe in odds, probabilities. Probabilities over possibilities, my boy, because anything's possible. But probability, if a motherfucker looks like a duck, he walks like a duck, he's a fucking duck. And I'm going to take you at your first glance because that's what society does. If you look a certain way, society's going to judge you off of it.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not that.
Sometimes it's not.
Yeah,
yes, it's a possibility,
it's
but you rather go with the possibility over the probability?
So.
But sometimes
you go with
it's
the
not the
yeah, it's not. We both agree.
Yeah.
We both agree. But
like,
would you
okay,
rather take...
I'll look at you and I'll be like, man, this fool, you know what I'm talking about? He's like, you're on some other shit, type of shit. But then on the side note, you're doing like the business stuff.
And you
like
know
that.
what? That's why I address everything in the hat that I'm wearing. So, for example, if I'm a business owner today and someone gets out of line with me, I'm not gonna go crazy with them, which is a perfect example of what happened to me today.
Bro, it's not just by the cover. You saying you're gonna judge everybody by the cover.
He should judge me by the cover because if in my business attire, I'm gonna act accordingly. You feel me? Whatever you appear to society, that's what they're gonna.
So you're gonna act.
No, everything's an act. Everything is a play on what you're doing. Yes, you have to.
So how are you gonna be real then? When you be real, you're gonna be really faking it?
Well, I believe that there's a moment in everybody's mind that they know who they really are. Everybody knows in the back of their head who they really are. I do. And what you show the only motherfuckers that really know how you really are. And if they don't get to near that, they're not spectators.
If you know, you know. But
yeah.
So are you going to fake it?
I'll fake it.
I'll fake it to
I'll
make
fake
it.
If I have to make it, yeah.
Hey, that's what counselor told me when I was in juvenile hall. He's like, some of you motherfuckers is just too real.
You think you know how to fake it?
He's like, no. He's like, he used to walk in the dorm. He's like,
Mr. Garrett,
yeah,
Mr.
Garrett.
G?
He's like, you motherfuckers is all in here because y'all too real. Y'all way too fucking real. You motherfuckers are gonna be in the penitentiary where the real motherfuckers is at. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about?
That fool?
He's like, you think I like coming in here every single day, staring at you motherfuckers every fucking day?
Funny.
He's like, fuck no, I hate this shit. I hate seeing you motherfuckers' faces. I hate seeing your face. He said, I come in here and I hate you motherfuckers. But what I do, kid, as soon as I open that door, I come in here with a smile. Like, man, I love my life type of shit. I started cracking up. He's like, what y'all don't know is y'all have to fake it to make it.
Fake it to make it,
You fake it to make it until you actually become that
Mr.
shit.
Mr. Garrett was a real one.
That motherfucker was funny as fuck. That shit stuck with me though.
He does some sick shit.
They said that boot camp was bullshit, this and this. No, that shit actually stuck with me.
What do you think about Mr. G? Silent?
He was dope. I fuck with him.
Why?
Silent was with me. That's why you're with me, dog.
He'll let me put the KP list together.
Weak.
Fucking Silent.
Put that shit together. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put a little bit of everybody in here, and then these two guys, because they need to take out the trash.
My boy Silent was setting it up.
G was a cool ass dude, dog. I remember one day he told me some crazy shit, dog. What do you think about that fool, though? You think he's chill? He was chill, huh?
Yeah, no, he was chill. I seen him fucking like spear somebody. I fucking yeah, that shit was hella funny, dog. It was my first.
I ain't never seen that fool get that real.
It was my first day there at Fouts, and then like I was on what they call the island, which is like the bunk bed in between two wings, and I was on top. And the fucking dude that came with me, he was also on the top across the wing, and I could see him. And where he was at, he was from the Bay too. He was from Richmond, so we came together. And I remember I was just sitting right there. I was like, man, this is like some motherfucking American Me shit. Everybody over here, like, everybody was like separated by sections. Like, hey man, this fool got the keys to this. You guys go talk to this. Do this our bathroom. Boo. I was like, oh shit. Shit, this got real.
But he got there after I left.
Anyways, so I'm sitting on the fucking island top bunk. I'm looking across, and I could see the other dude that I came with on the top bunk on the other island. And I guess some fool from under him was a blood from Watts, and he hit him up. He was all like, "Hey, what's up, blood? Where you from?" He's like, "You bang?" And then Like that fool, he wasn't nothing. You feel me? He was just like one of the hood motherfuckers from Richmond. And he was all like, "Oh, don't come at me with nothing like that, bro. Get the fuck out of my face." And then he's just like, "What?" And they just both got up and they started fucking thumping.
Man,
and then here comes Mr. Garrett, this fucking little bullet, just like fucking running down the fucking dorm and just like fucking speared this motherfucking dog like into the wall, like bam. I was like, "Oh shit!" They're like, "Everybody get the fuck to bed." I was like, "Oh damn."
Hey, so
shit got real.
For everybody that doesn't know, because a lot of people aren't gonna know. So we were all sentenced to the same boys camp ranch, and like everybody from my neighborhood where I grew up at, they all like experienced going there. It's a very special type of camp though, to be honest with you. So what it is people that were supposed to go to CYA, they'll give you like a second chance to go to Foul Springs, and you can either graduate from there or you're gonna do your full time in CYA. The thing is about it is it was very different because it mimicked the prison system of California in a way. So there was Sureños from Northern California, Sureños from Southern California. There was Norteños, and then there was Bloods and Crips and everybody else, right? But the thing kind of mimicked the real prison system just because they didn't just take people from the area that it was around, which is like Yolo County or some shit like that in Foul Springs. It mimicked, it would bring like half of the population from San Bernardino County in, plus half of the population from Northern California. So when we were in there, it was like, to keep, so you know the ratios was always like, it was like 60 heads, right? 25 Southsiders, like 6 or 7 Norteños, and then you had the rest blacks. And then the other tiny percentage was like white boys, like white priders, which is pretty much how that shit goes. And it was crazy, dog, in there because we learned a lot of shit. But it was crazy. It was weird, like little ass kids. So when we get sentenced there, we've all had our different times. My first time when I went there, I wasn't really spooked because I know I already had all of my older friends and shit like that. They all had been there. So when I went up there and I walked up there, I was like, damn, they're going to shave your head. You know how you shave your head as soon as you get there? Shave my shit, walked up in there. As soon as I walked through the doors, I don't really know what to expect, but bam, nigga, they start banging on me right away.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's up, homie? Where you from? I'm like, oh, shit, what the fuck? I was a little bit like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I was a little flustered. I was like, hey, what's up? But then they were all homies, but at the same time, they were up in my face, dog, like crazy. And then I was just like, damn, what's going on here? It was very disorganized, very crazy. Nobody was really knowing what the fuck was going on. And then when I went up in there, I was just like, hey, look, dog, what's going on?
What did it teach you, though?
Oh, it taught me hella shit, dog. It taught me so much stuff, fool. It taught me how to really be a man, how you got to think for yourself. You don't got your mom looking over you. You got to make, when I was in there, I was like, dude, either I'm going to fuck up here, I'm going to go do 6 years in CYA,
show you how to work?
Or I'm going to make it. They taught me how to work, but most of all, they taught me how to think, dog. And that's where I first learned, like, how? And you put me in a, like, for example, when I first went in there, it was very disorganized, little motherfuckers. There's a bunch of little kids. But in my head, I'm like, nigga, I got to try to get home, you know? I got to get to the house. So if I'm going to try to get to the house, I have to figure out some type of a strategy to get there. So my strategy was like, okay, there's 25 Southsiders. We're always going to be deeper. And with just pure numbers, I can strategize this shit to get myself home. So it was just like, okay, if every Southsider fights somebody as soon as they get here, then everybody will know not to fuck with us, so they'll be spooked. You know, they're going to be like, hey, don't fuck with them fools, because if you fight one of them, they're all going to go crazy. And then right away, we're constantly like fighting fools so they don't fuck with us. And then so then I was like, let's do that. And then I told them that, and then when the fools started coming in, I was like, okay, so who, you know, if someone would ask them, hey, who do you want to fight, or what's going on with you? And they'll say, hey, you have to fight somebody if you want to fuck with us. If you don't, you can go by yourself, but they're probably going to whoop your ass.
Other than that, though.
Huh?
Other than that, like on a different...
Like in leadership qualities, that's what I learned, dog, to be honest with you. Leadership. And then, but then on top of that, I also learned like education, you know? Like
learn math?
Shit. I learned math.
Because I fucking learned math. Miss A, man, I swear, man, you changed my life. I didn't know how to do.
Damn, Miss A, fool.
Her coffee, I used to smell her coffee every day. We didn't get coffee. I always smell that coffee. I used to be like, man,
that shit was a dope ass place, fool.
Yeah.
We were really like, he taught us how to do hella shit, bro.
Yeah, I actually got hella smart in there.
Taught me how to swim, fool, the hard way.
Oh, hey, but look, let me answer the old boy's question. He said he wanted wanted to know something. So somebody that wanted to ask a question. His name is Chicho. He said, well, he's like, hey, can I get some advice on how can I invest my money and grow my money? If you can help me out, I would appreciate it, bro. I said, it's all good. So, I mean, there's different ways. But what do you think? He didn't get too much into specific. If he would have gotten into an industry or like.
So this is what I think that somebody should do from the beginning, and it's gonna be hard. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be very difficult because a lot of people nowadays are keeping up with the Joneses. You feel me? For those that don't know, Joneses means you're trying to keep up with the next person. You want to act like you're doing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? You want to act flashy. You see him get a car, you're going to buy a car. You see him do that. You don't try to, because look, most of the time, look, it's a fact that the majority of people that live in the United States cannot pull out $1,000. That's a fact, the majority. So my
you're
point
lying. You're fucking
no, that's
lying.
a fact. Look that shit up.
Look that shit up on your phone, because I don't believe that shit. I really don't.
Look, honestly,
if you don't have $1,000 in your wallet,
hold on. We can argue things that are not facts, but that's a fact, bro. Honestly.
People don't got $1,000.
Bro, majority of the people in the United States today. Look, we can argue about things that are not facts. That's a fact. That's proven fact, bro. So I won't argue. I'll argue about opinions and perspectives, but it's a fact that the majority of people in the United States, I've read too much books where it says the same thing, cannot pull out $1,000. The majority, they can't pull it out themselves. They have to borrow it from somebody. That's the majority. Now, I'm going to because you're not even in that same scenario where you could think that way, but that's a fact, bro. Now, but what I'm saying is this.
That would be a Mando for me to get.
I understand that, but my point is this, though.
I'm trying to answer this fool's question.
I'm trying to answer it, too. You just asked me, so I'm trying to answer it. So, in my perspective, or you guys can try to answer it, then I'll answer it.
Ask you, what do you think?
So, my point is this. If you put yourself in that scenario where you're trying to keep up with everybody else, because that's what everybody else tries to do, once you do that, you're going to be at a loss, bro, because you don't know what this fool's pockets look like. You don't know what the back of that screen really looks like. Because what could really happen is that he could be acting all this type of way, and really in the bank, he's got zero, bro. And you over here trying to keep up with him, you got a motherfucking...
like that. Yeah,
and you trying to keep up with him, you got a zero too. You know what I'm saying? So...
Don't keep up with nobody.
Yeah.
Don't keep up with nobody.
But that's
you don't know how good that other fool's doing. You might be doing better than him. He's just over there trying to fucking look hella flashy and shit. Trying to borrow, get fake jewelry, all that shit. And at the end of the day, bro, you're gonna buy some real shit and go bankrupt, and the other motherfucker just he got some fake ass jewelry.
Okay, that leads me to my point though. So what I would do if I was him, don't look at what everybody else has. Save up your money, bro. Save up your money. If you own a business,
how much
money? I'm trying to tell you, if you own a business, save up 6% of your expenses. Whatever it costs you to live or anything like that, save up, my bad. 6 months. Six months of that. I'm like, dog, take this away.
You're a fucking idiot.
I fucked everything. 6% of
I know, I got that. I'm like, Garrett, what the fuck?
Okay. 6 months of your expenses, save that up. Doesn't matter what fucking the Garcias or the Gonzaleses are doing down the street. You
break that down though, because
so you're gonna do 6 months if you own a business. You want to do
everything you spend for 6 months, bills,
expenses. Yes. Now, if you work for somebody, 3 months because it's less risky. If you own your own business, it's a risky situation. It's not an easy thing to do. Now, what I would tell old boy is save that up. Don't even think about investing until you save that up, dog. Once you got that amount invested, whatever your expenses are, if you work for somebody, 3 months. If you work for yourself, 6 months. Once you save up that amount of money, the next thing you're going to do, then after that, you can invest. And if you want to invest, I have different ways of looking at it. Me, I'd rather invest in myself, bro, than anybody else first.
What do you mean invest in yourself?
Well, a lot of people invest money in the stocks and shit like that.
You can actually make money in the stocks if you know how to do it. If you know, and you actually do the research.
What are you doing when you invest in money in the stocks?
You can invest in Tesla.
What are you doing?
Apple.
But what are you doing?
If the stocks are hella low,
like
when Corona hit.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
But what are you doing if you do that?
What are you really investing in?
But what is what did you really invest in your money in?
In the stock market.
In somebody else.
Yes.
I trust myself way more than I trust
another company. I know what you're saying.
I'd rather make myself a business first, put myself on, get my shit established, learn how this shit goes, and then if I got so much money where I can't fuck with somebody else, like, for example, you're doing too much things, and you don't know what to do next, then I'll put my money in the stocks.
So you're saying Make your own company first. Or if you're working for somebody else, save up that money and then start your own company. Instead of putting your money in somebody else's company like Coca-Cola. I'm throwing random
some of
companies
that
out
is
there.
not as easy for some people though. So like for somebody like him, like whoever that is, he sounds like somebody that's young.
Yeah.
Your best thing that you probably would do would be, of course, to stack up your money before you invest. And the other thing that would be smart is for you to get involved in a business that you're interested in. So whatever franchise or whatever it is,
Industry.
line of work that you're interested in, you need to go there and see what they're doing and what you see that you can do better than what they got going on. So you're kind of infiltrating something that you're interested in just to get the hang of the ropes and see what they got going on.
Now I see you and see what you're saying.
On top of that, you're reading books and taking classes.
That's the motherfucking thing, dog.
Knowledge.
No, most people won't do. Bro, look, this is a perfect example. People look at the business shit and they think it just came like this, easy. No. We had to take courses in college. We had to go back. We had to relearn how to use a fucking computer.
I just posted that shit.
You know what I'm saying? We had to do a lot of
easy.
shit like that. And when you do those type of things and you figure out that shit will get you into places that you want to go. And this is what I used to think. I was like, bro, I went with one of my homies, and I went over to his house, bro, and I started learning so many things. I couldn't stop learning, fool. I was listening to Audible every day, and I'm just like, bro, I got a secret. I felt like for example, let's say that I just robbed a bank or something, right? And I came up to you, and I'm like, hey, bro, silent. I found out the perfect way to rob a bank, and nobody would ever find out. And I'm hella happy because I'm about to get rich. And I come up and I tell you, hey, fool, I'm so excited I'm about to tell you what the secret is. And this is how I know motherfuckers are just lazy. Because I came up to my homie and I'm like, hey, look, fool. I was so excited to tell him, fool. I was like, I'm like, look, fool. What I figured out, dog, is that if we just dedicate, he's hella happy. He's like, this, what is it for? What did you figure out? You feel me? Like, what do you, like, if I had a lick.
My boy was
like, he was like, what is it? What is it? Like, what if it's like, look, fool, I figured it out. All we have to do, dog, is go to school. He was like, what the fuck? Mames, güey. The fuck? No, dude. And that's when I'm like, well, it's an easy thing, but people just won't do it. Yes, if you go to the gym, if you go to the gym, you're gonna get yoked. Everybody knows it, but nobody goes.
But you're not getting into detail. You're not getting into detail.
I am getting detail. You don't ever have to worry.
You're saying study, but you study what? You have to study a certain niche. A certain niche.
No,
you can say, oh yeah, you have to study.
I went to school for marketing. I went to school
That's what I'm getting to.
Yes.
I feel like the people who are too lazy to go to school, they don't want to because they don't know what they want to be educated in.
That has a lot to do with it, yes.
So they probably all they know is what was taught to them in the streets, which is selling whatever the fuck they selling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the shit they weren't taught to be interested in certain things. So they don't know what to be invested in as far as education.
Yes.
That's why people show that, oh, I don't want to do that, because that's like throwing them into, you know, a whirlpool of random shit, and they don't even have their mind set in that way. So that's what separates the fucking
interest level.
That's what separates the thinkers from the doers. You know, somebody that thinks about it and the people who actually go ahead and go and do it.
When you say things like that, what it makes me think in my head is I put myself instantly in your space, and I think to myself, have I ever been there in the space you're talking about? Correct. Mm-hmm. And I think, and I see, and I'm like, okay, I did that though, and I was in that fucked up space, and then I think to myself this. You know what's the big difference of the space that I was in now and then? Is that now I know what could work. But the only way I know that it's true is because I got myself far away from that situation. So what I'm trying to say is this.
You also figured out something you're interested in.
Yes, but look, this is what I say.
So you knew what to study.
The only reason that I think, but we talking about kids in a fucked up situation. Now we talking about in general.
Oh, we're talking about kids now.
Well, I thought, look, because anytime I say something, I think, so I'm thinking we're helping people. Because who's ever watching this, if he's a youngster and he's growing up in a fucked up place,
that dude's question.
Yeah, like him, he can figure out what we're saying, and he's gonna be like, damn, these niggas don't. But we never had that. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Like I never had someone like me. I had to learn it the hard way. I had to really sit down.
By failure.
No, the real reason what happened to me is I was just tired of the dumb shit. Like for some reason, I would listen to music all the time, but then I'm like, bro, I'm tired of hearing this like music all the time. I want to hear something that really gets your mind going. And I started listening to books, and it started I felt like this fool was giving me secrets of the world. This is where a lot of people have misconceptions.
Damn, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you're talking about.
What I started to realize is like, okay, You know how older people have been through more experiences, so they try to game you up on shit? So then they try to tell you something like, hey, I know I've been through this and that. But when you read a book about a man that's been alive, especially not any regular man, one of the most intelligent people, like D. Rockefeller, like what's that other book, like the one we've been talking about, How to Build Friends and Influence People, like Dave Ramsey's The Total Money Makeover, like Robert Kiyosaki's The Poor Man. The list going on about what you want. And if you guys want to recommend any books, go ahead and comment in the bottom, and we'll recommend you books that'll set you up to be like on some financial shit. Just put it on the bottom and we'll talk about it next time. Whatever you want, or just check out our Instagrams or some shit and just let us know, DM us, and we'll tell you. But my point I'm trying to make is, I fucking forgot.
No, he was when he was saying. I know where you're going with that. Is you can basically in a book is fucking 50 years of experience. Yes. So you open up a book, you read a book. It takes you about a week. Right? A week. Let's say you're a fucking slow reader. A month, right? 1 month, you soak one person's 30 years of experience. So you leveled up on a 30 years of experience. So this dude that's like fucking 40 years old or whatever, you leveled up on him because you obtained that knowledge in literally a month.
Exactly. So my point is this: a lot of people seem that they're older. And they're older, they must have more experience. But where they fail to acknowledge is that if you read a book about a man, his autobiography, which is everything to the moment that he died, and he wasn't just a regular man. He was a special person in life, like the people that I just mentioned. If you do that and you read enough books, they don't read books. Majority of people don't read books. This person just has his own sheer experience and knowledge of what he has. But if you read these books, bro, you just connected with 2 books, autobiography, 200 years of the most influential people that ever lived. Now, if you read a 3rd and a 4th and a 5th, now you got 500 years of some of the most intelligent people in your head. And you got a man that's 60 years old that's trying to tell you what to do with his life experiences, but he doesn't know in your head you 500 years old. And that's the point I'm trying to make, is that knowledge is power. But most people don't understand that. When I figured that out, I couldn't stop reading.
But there's also something too. You have to put it into practice. Because you can read all the fucking books in the world. If you don't put it into practice and apply it to your daily life, like read the book, but when you read it, don't fucking try to skip through it. Actually obtain every single page or every audible. If you listen to it, go back and listen to it. If you don't really get it, go back and listen to it again. Go back and listen. Because what's the point of listening to a book if you're not really obtaining that knowledge and putting it into practice? You can learn all this shit in the world, but you need to put it into practice. That's why some people say there's a practitioner.
Facts,
practitioner is somebody that practices the shit. If you rapping, you practice your craft. You're molding your craft. You're perfecting your craft. So if you're writing a book, you're perfecting that craft.
Hey, preach on, preacher. No,
it's some real shit.
No, I feel you. And this is what I feel like. This is what it really comes down to. I had the same mentality as a lot of you guys watching this. The only thing is I've gained some knowledge. So let's say, for example, you went through your whole life, and as you went through your whole life, you're about to die. And right before you're about to die, you're like, damn, I wish I would have known all this fucked up shit that happened to me before I got to this point. I would have redid my life differently. That's exactly what a book is. That's exactly what a book is. You already lived like 5 lives, and you're like, holy shit, I just learned hella shit from 5 lifetimes ago. I ain't making the same mistakes. It's like you're going back and back. I mean, niggas knew that about reading. They would do it, nigga, do it. But they don't know the power that's in there, bro. You wise as fuck. Yeah. You already lived and died 5 times.
Well, that's why I want my son to learn how to fucking read like ASAP. Full count. I got hella books. I'm gonna shoot him. You're not gonna get shit until you read them all. Nothing.
But that's my little take on.
That shit right there. That's just hella important, bro. No, read some dope shit though, and put it into practice.
One person that's an avid reader that you might not know is my boy Silent right here, and he has a lot of experience on a very, very special book.
Which was that though?
It's not a lot of experience, but I took a class for communicating, and was one of the books that they recommended us was Life Scripts.
What's the best thing you took from it, and how you apply it to your life?
I mean, it's just being.
Or how can a regular person apply it to his life?
I mean, it puts, when people run into complicated situations as far as communicating with certain topics that they're not comfortable with dealing with under pressure. That's what that book will help you with.
Can you put it in an example?
Yeah, exactly.
or some real life event you've seen?
So, like, it could be, because there's hella examples in there, but like one of the most common ones, like at the
like
very
the one
top,
you see in hella times.
would be asking for a raise.
Oh, that's what it always.
Damn.
And you should never ever tell your boss that
How would
you need
ask
a
for it?
raise because you feel like you deserve it, or you need a raise because of you got too many bills at home.
I need
You know
a
what I'm
motherfucking
saying?
raise or I'm leaving,
There-
homie.
That too.
How do you do it? How
you
the
do it
fuck do
then,
you do
bro?
it? I want to know this shit, so I know what to look out for. I'm just playing.
I mean, because it's the scenario comes down in a tree. So you have it's either you're gonna ask him this, and then he's either gonna say that your boss is gonna say this or that, and then the tree keeps going on and on. So it just tells you what to say, because regardless, it's either you're gonna get a definite yes. You're
Or
gonna get an
definite
answer
no.
regardless, but the answer is either gonna be yes, you're getting a raise, or
no.
you're gonna get a raise this day. So you kind of put it to where the
Can you specify
What do
the
you mean?
thing? Because I think people can you specify how would it play out?
I don't remember
or
the
yes?
whole tree.
Fucking silent.
The tree is so big, it's like
That's hella
it goes-
valuable, bro.
It goes down into like so many
because you can
different
use that
scenarios.
in life events, bro. Not just in work. You can use that
Exactly.
everywhere.
Listen, when I was reading this, I was like, damn, Fouts taught me this shit without even knowing it. Because you kind of like, it's like playing chess, you feel me? But verbally with somebody. You know, you're seeing where their head is at, and you're talking to them like, all right, okay, I see where his mind is at. I need to go this way a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But definitely looking to get in a book called Life Scripts. It's not going to solve all your fucking problems in your life.
What will it solve though?
It
Help the
the
most.
most common ones.
Which is
The number one will be getting a raise. How to
That's the important one.
yeah, how
What is
to
it?
how to basically tell your spouse that they need to lose weight.
damn.
Respect-
dog.
Oh shit.
That's
how-
crazy.
How to deal with funeral.
How would someone do that?
How to deal with funeral arrangements with family. Like, say if somebody passed away, and then now you have everybody that's like was close to that person or a family member that has to deal with that. You know how to go about that.
I know how I'd go about it,
Jenna-
nigga.
Jenna-
Group message.
Yeah, I know, right?
Nah. But then what else, fool?
I don't have the book with me, but there's a lot of shit in there.
Dog.
The
if
book
you
is
can
like-
remember the
the
whole
fool, the
book,
book is
that
this
shit-
big, fool.
Yeah, that's,
How do you think someone should deal with like funeral arrangements? Because I know we all gonna go through that motherfucker.
It
Some
all,
of us faster than others.
it all depends on who put if the person that died has a will, because if they didn't write a will,
Majority of people not. I mean, majority of the people we deal with, I don't believe they have wills. But you think they have wills though?
it would be smart for them to have a will, because if they die,
Do you have a will?
nah, I'm too young to think about shit like that.
No, you should think about it. We all should think about it.
Yeah.
Getting a will, at least something like simple. But what would be the
or life
process
insurance.
if you were doing everything correct?
There's no correct way. It just it matters on what situation you're in. Like I said, it's a tree that comes down with different conversations and outcomes and what you should be saying, and then you just apply those aspects to your life and what scenario you're going in. Because obviously, what's going on in that tree, I can't tell you word for word because you want to ask me in detail. The tree is so big, I don't remember all of that terminology.
What have you learned from there that you find yourself using the most? Honestly.
I mean, when I read that book, it just made me learn how to talk to normal people in society better, and how they look at conversations compared to how I would deal with it in a very political, engaging way as far as the streets go, because my mind was so set in one way. But like looking at that book and then being around normal people for a long time that weren't incarcerated, not only being around gang members and stuff like that, you know, it helped mold my brain into, you know, somebody who could actually live in society and, you know, work in a company that has a bunch of people who don't even have that type of background. Don't get me wrong, there is a couple people who do, but like for the most part, these are just, you know, your average Joes who, You know, like to go out and drink Starbucks and walk their dog and shit and call
Drink
the
White
police.
Claws.
Call the police when they see somebody fucking looking weird. Like, those are the type of people that I work with. You know, they're just squares. I work with squares.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the work environment is like that, though. It shouldn't be.
It should be, yeah.
Hey, so that's gonna be it for this day. We're gonna wrap everything up. But if you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and comment
leave
right
down the
there.
comments what y'all really want to know, and we'll talk about it. We're gonna help y'all out, man. Just leave the comments what y'all really want to know.